Let's welcome back to the show Arkansas Congressman Rick Crawford. Congressman, it's always a pleasure having you on. What's your reaction to that report?
Well, I mean, the administration wants to make suckers out of those of us who paid our student loans. I mean, this is just a ridiculous notion, and the idea that somehow you can just wave a magic wand and that problem will go away. This is kind of like the approach to, you're going to give amnesty to correct the immigration problem. So we're going to correct our student loan problem by forgiving all the debt. It makes no sense at all.
Let's watch The View. Guest host here is going to confront Senator Elizabeth Warren on the unfairness of wiping out student loans. And I think we've got sound from Bill Maher of HBO in here, too. Watch this.
You've been fiercely advocating for the president to cancel student loan debts, but really only 13% of Americans even have federal student loan debt. So is this really the best way to reach most voters? And also, what do you say to someone like me who worked 2 jobs for a decade to pay off all their student loans, just finished? Where do I sign up for reimbursement?
So let's start out with who has student loans today. About 40% of the folks with student loans don't have a college diploma. They're folks who tried.
Yeah.
They're folks who tried and life happened.
A lot of people are saying this is a loser issue.
We Democrats have a lab, 2 labs actually, secret labs, one in Berkeley and one in Brooklyn, where we come up with ideas to completely piss off the working class.
Yeah, that's it, right? I understand what Senator Warren is saying about, some people quit college, but this gets real personal real fast about everybody else who paid off their loans, or about people who do not want to buy a 4-year degree and did not do that. They were trained as plumbers, as steam fitters, as pipe fitters, or electricians. Do they get their debt forgiven?
Exactly. I mean, what do you tell those truckers, those beauticians, barbers, plumbers, as you mentioned, electricians, carpenters, and so on, who are out there making a living, providing for their family, providing an invaluable service to our economy, that you don't matter. What matters is we pay off all these English literature degrees, and there's nothing wrong with a degree in English literature, but let's think about where this money goes. You're going to have about 1/3 of the working people in America, age 25 and above, paying for college degrees for those college degree holders, and many of which are advanced degrees like law degrees and medical degrees. And so we're not even talking about, she says, well, life happens, and so some of these people didn't even finish college. What about life happening to those doctors who incurred all kinds of debt so they could go to medical school? Are we going to wave a wand to make that go away, or how's that going to work?
What about forcing universities to lower their tuition costs first? I mean, they're always in lockstep with each other. There should be a racketeering lawsuit against these colleges for how they're always in lockstep with each other in raising tuition costs. You would have more success teaching a cat to bark than getting these guys to stop with their tuition gouging.
Well, it's a business enterprise. Look, I mean, it's in their interest to continue to raise. Every time you raise the student loan rates, I mean, you see about a 60 to 90% increase in college tuition rates, or, the statistics are ridiculous. And so, yeah, it's in their interest to see this continuation of student loan. And now if they had to front load that themselves and say, we're not going to allow for the payment of student loan debt until you have reached these metrics of success. That is, until you've passed this class, we're not being reimbursed for that. But they're getting paid on the front end. They don't care if you graduate or not. They're continuing to make that money.
This just seems like a way to get the vote, right? And it's the use of taxpayers' money to buy votes. That's how it feels.
Right.
Your final word.
Yeah. Well, look, you want to go to the root cause, and so the universities do play a role in this, and we need to curtail costs. But as I said before, you want the root cause before you start waving the wand and saying we're going to make all these problems go away, because this is only going to make things worse with this mass loan debt forgiveness.
Congressman Crawford, always a pleasure.